we've spent this series talking about women who changed science, but were called interpreters. Women who had to be the first when equality knocked on the door. Women whose very existence we question. But I want to talk about the ones we've never heard about in every classroom, in every generation, every society throughout history. Were girls that were at the top of their class. Brilliant ones, the ones with their hands always up. The Hermione Grangers of their time. They were always there. In ancient times, in medieval Europe, in every village, every city, and throughout time. They all go. The easy answer is hormones, puberty, biology. Sure, hormones are real. Social media does not help. But here's what the research shows. Boys and girls start off with equal self-esteem in childhood. Then around the ages of 12 to 14, something happens. Girls' self-esteem plummets, while boys stay stable and even goes up. Yes, the research shows that social media has exacerbated this, but this was happening when I was a kid. Research has been documented across cultures and decades. But what if it's more than just hormones? What if around the age of 12 or 13, those brilliant girls looked up, saw the world as it actually was? That's what they saw, that women were wives and mothers, period. That's it. They've never been taught about a single woman who's done anything else. Meanwhile, they might have been helping boys with their homework. They realized I have fire in my belly, I have genius in my brain, and none of it matters. Not only that, they had to look a certain way, act a certain way, and play a role for the rest of their lives. Imagine being young and brilliant and realizing your dreams have to die even before they start. That kind of realization would devastate anyone. Here's the thing, it wasn't accidental. Women throughout history were doing the research, making the discoveries, and solving the problem. There was a systematic erasure of their contributions. Scientists even admitted that they preferred working with women so they could take the credit. It's called the Matilda effect, named after suffragist Matilda Joslyn Gage. She noticed that the more women worked, the men around them profited, and the less credit women got. Modern research shows that women in research teams are 13% less likely to be named as authors, 58% less likely to be named on patents. This wasn't women suddenly becoming brilliant in the last 50 years. Women were always brilliant. The proof? Look how fast women have advanced in college and careers, just given a bit of access. They've been sitting there like racehorses at the gate this whole time. What happened to all those Hermione Grangers throughout history? Who became the women that we talk about in this series? Ones who pushed through anyway, whose names we almost lost. Work got attributed to men. Women who had to be exceptional just to be considered adequate. But how many more just stopped trying? Because they couldn't do it. Maybe because they looked around and didn't find a single woman who had. Because no one taught them those women existed. Because the erasure was so complete, they thought they were alone. They had genius, they had fire, and were taught to extinguish it. And this is why knowing their stories matters. This is why we dig up historical women. We fight to remember their names. And why we refuse to let them be erased. Because when a girl today looks up from her books and sees that wall, she needs to know that other women already climbed it. In corsets, in societies that consider them property, without the right to vote, have property, or keep their own wages, being told they were only fit to be wives and mothers. Women who revolutionized science while being called interpreters. Women who had to be first in line when the doors cracked open. Women whose existence they tried to erase entirely. They were the Hermione Grangers too. They had that same fire and they didn't let it go out. Yes, there are still barriers. Yes, we're still fighting the Matilda effect. And yes, the system needs fixing. Men didn't suddenly become brilliant. We always were. Difference now is access. And knowing the path exists because other women already carved it. All you have to do is walk it.